33A, take 2.
Hinterland is about Sarah, who is home alone, and she slowly becomes paranoid that maybe she's not home alone and that something or someone is in the house with her. Hinterland went through a lot of renditions. One of the first iterations was for a screenwriting class, and it was a lot different. The basic themes were there, and the big kind of twist ending is the same still, but in the first couple iterations there were some other characters, minor characters, that ended up dying and whatnot, and then in the end I cut them entirely to make Sarah completely alone and completely isolated in this house. I think I was most excited about actual production because we had spent so long in pre-production, months and months, doing storyboards and scheduling and buying costumes and props.
We like to start as early as we can with pre-production. It's almost a pseudo pre-production when it's a smaller group of people initially. Again, Nicole, Abby, and I, Aaron Brame as well. Small group gets together. We talk about everything that needs done. We support each other when we realize this is not going to happen. This is impossible. We can't do this. And then we, pat each other on the back. We take our random notes and emails, texts, and all that stuff, and start compiling that into something an actual plan, marching orders, and all that kind of stuff.
I would say I maybe did things a little bit non-traditionally in the sense that I didn't hold auditions or anything for Hinterland. I knew I wanted Kelly to play Sarah because I had worked with her before and I had seen things that she'd acted in, and I thought she just had the perfect look for Sarah. I thought she could totally pull it off. So I just asked her if she wanted to be a part of it, and she did, thankfully. And I was really excited to work with her. We had a couple meetings about her character. We had kind of a pseudo rehearsal, but other than that, I just kind of left the character up to her.
Sarah, as a character, something that I found really relatable about her is that she is in this relationship with her boyfriend, her significant other. Looks like it's leading to marriage, at least for her, and she kind of molds herself to fit this idea of a perfect relationship, even when maybe it's not so perfect. By the end of the film, Sarah gets to a place that, for me as an actor, emotionally, I have not done. So that's something that I'm excited about, but also very nervous to make sure that it comes off in the right way, I guess. But that level of emotion is something that is definitely outside my comfort zone, to be that exposed and vulnerable.
Alex, I also brought on non-traditionally because he also did not audition. But I had worked with him before on a miniseries and know that he's just a phenomenal actor and never comes across as fake. Like, he's always very genuine. And the only stipulation was that the character is British that he's playing. He was a genius when we were running lines together and figuring out this accent. He figured out that if he went extremely Cockney, he could then bring it back, and it was like perfect. So he'd go really Cockney, and then like the next line he would do would be like completely spot on. So I just thought that was really fantastic. So the location's obviously pretty badass. It's actually my aunt's house, and so I've been going there for years. Ever since I was little, I've been going up there. So to me, it's obviously a very cool house, but it's something that I was very accustomed to. So it was kind of fun bringing Abby and Jack and some of the production team to scouts and just seeing their reactions to the house for the first time was very fun. Yeah, but the location is perfect. Initially, when I wrote the script, though, I was never planning on shooting it, and so I had imagined a completely different house. And so when I went in to rewrite it so that it could be a shooting script, I had to kind of rewrite things in order for it to work in their living space. Our second location for the chest freezer scene was actually our associate producer Dustin's house in Anderson. So that was nice because it was just a half an hour away. But we used his garage. They're very accommodating. They let us move around everything in their garage and whatnot. And so we ripped everything out of their chest freezer and got to use that. So that was very nice. On projects where I'm the director of photography, I usually don't mind also cam mopping because I'm already there and that's kind of what I'm in charge of is the visual aspects. However, I knew for a fact on this set I would be running around and I would really need somebody to be there manning the camera so I could really focus on the acting and what's going on in the frame as opposed to getting the shots. I brought in Shane Dresch, who we were really close friends back when he went to Ball State, and he's probably the best camera operator I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and so I knew immediately that he would be my choice for this project. And so luckily him and Bobby Daly, who is our data loader, or DIT, luckily they came over from Aurora, Illinois and helped out on the project. Ryan Faust was my humble, amazing, fantastic gaffer, and we've worked together on many a project, and I just absolutely adore working with him. Adrian was the key grip, and he's also just a phenomenal dolly grip as well. So anytime that dolly track had to be laid out, or the Dana dolly, it was always prepped, it was always there. Shannon was brought on as art director as someone who had never been on a film set before in her life, but she absolutely rocked it. And so I had a meeting with her, and she had already gone over the script and started making lists of props. And, you know, she had ideas for costumes because it was set in the 90s. She had ideas for everything. And just because the house that we were going to is already furnished didn't mean that she didn't get off easy or anything. There's a lot of props involved. And so she was just phenomenal. We would go out and pick up props and pick up costumes. She's always thinking, like, what's gonna look the best? Like, is this a good price match? And then when we were on set, having someone to just put Kelly in what costume we were going to, that's like one less thing I had to worry about. Having someone who knew what props were going in what scene and where they're putting them, she just covered all of that for me, and so that was really great.
This crew really did work well together, and they knew how to have fun together. And that's my favorite part about being on a set, is just working with like-minded people who want to make something magical and something that will last for forever. And I love every person that was on this crew, and they just all kind of worked amazingly together, and they had like the best time, and so it was really fun to work on.
A lot of people knew each other, and a lot of people didn't, but in a sense of just made up numbers, say there was 4 different groups of friends or 4 different groups of people that knew each other, seeing everyone blend together pretty quickly. Also, anytime you're on set and you have that kind of cabin fever aspect, it helps. And I think it also lasts a lot of times, because typically that's how those groups form. You get to meet people, and you do the next project, and the next project, and the next project, that kind of thing.
As far as the post-production timeline goes right now, hopefully it will be done by the end of the summer. And then after that, looking to enter it into film festivals. We're not looking to enter it into Sundance or anything crazy. Everyone's sending their stuff into Sundance, so we're probably going to look more on the local spectrum, and then also genre-oriented, people who are specifically looking for horror films. That's probably where we're going to go. I love all the people that were on the crew. I loved everyone that I worked with, and so I'm more or less just excited to have people see something that me and a bunch of other really cool people created. And look, we made this, and we lit it, and we got these shots, and we put it together, and it's a movie. So I'm also really excited for that aspect as well. Yeah, in the end, I think the rain was our biggest... Daz! I can't hate him.